Welcome back to Hong Kong Direct. We're going to hear from Alexis Badel very shortly. Look forward to the feature race on Sunday's opening day as well. But Ed, as we headed off to the break, we heard from Jeune talking about one of the horses he's looking forward to getting back on board. Waikuku, a proven group performer, but you've delved a little bit deeper, come up with a horse to follow, but maybe he could be a group horse for the future?
For sure, Andrew, yes. I think one of the exciting things about this season is we've got a number of progressive types, particularly in the sprinting division. I'm not sure if my horse will end up as a sprinter or as a miler potentially, but Skyfield's a horse that won really impressively at the back end of last season with Joe Moreira on board. In actual fact, Joe's done a lot of work with the horse over the pre-season period. He looked really good at the trials back in New Zealand before coming over here. He's lived up to that potential. We won't have to wait long to see him either. I asked Casper Found today when he'd be likely to return to the races, and he said not this Sunday but next Sunday he'll run in the Class 3 over 1,200 metres. But being a 4-year-old, he could potentially be a classic mile type horse, Andrew.
He's a really nice horse to look forward to for the new season, Skyfield. Look out for Excellent Proposal as well, running in race number 9 this weekend. I think he's a nice horse for the season ahead. Moving forward though, Alexis Badel has been a regular visitor over the last few seasons on a part-time basis. He's now made the move though on a more permanent role.
Well, Lexi, it's great to see you back here in Hong Kong. We're seeing you a bit earlier this time around at the start of the season. Why have you decided to come this time to Hong Kong for a full season?
Well, I'm glad to be back, and I always have been very keen to try the Hong Kong full season. And I had a couple short-term contracts with quite successful, and the club has been great to give me the opportunity to stay here for a full season. And I'm very glad to take this opportunity, and yeah, this is very challenging. I'm very happy.
You rode 33 winners through the time that you were in France for the season. Alexi, what sort of form are you in coming into this new season here in Hong Kong? How have you been riding?
I've had a very good form, and yeah, considering the fact I begin the season very late compared to the others, and because of the lockdown, 33 winners has been a very good record. Yeah, that's been very good rhythm.
And you had a terrific time here last season during that stint. You had support from guys like Douglas White and also from Danny Shaw and Richard Gibson. Have they been the guys that you've gone to again this time around for support for the new season here?
Yes, I hope so. I will try to maintain the good connection that I have, and build some others. Try to win for different trainers. I didn't have the chance to win for anyone, so I will try to work on it and maintain a good relationship with people who trust me already.
We saw you rode some really nice young up-and-coming horses too, like Super Wealthy, like Wellington. Who are the horses this time around that you're looking forward to jumping on?
Well, I'm glad to be back on Super Wealthy. He's been a terrific new horse, and he's a very talented horse. He hasn't run for a long period, so I'm very interested to see how he can evolve this season. And yeah, and I've had a couple of good results on new young horses, and maybe In a Flame, or yeah, so a lot to mention. So I'm looking forward to be back on the saddle.
And things have changed since you were last here in the jockey's room. You're now not the only French jockey here. Of course, we saw in the back half of last season Antoine Hamlin do really well. Is there some extra competition for you there?
I wouldn't say that. It's Hong Kong is very challenging. It's also very competitive in any way. So yeah, I'm glad to have a friend here, a familiar face, people, a guy I can speak French with. This is quite familiar, so you know. But yeah, Hong Kong is very competitive, so I'll stay focused on my job anyway.
And just a final question for you, Alexi, on the competitive nature of Hong Kong racing. Now that this time around you're going to be here for the full season, we know you can ride light, we've seen the success that you've had. Could you challenge guys like Zach Curtin and Joe Moreira for the Jockeys Championship here?
Let's see what happens. I'll try my best to give my horses every chances, and I'll try to keep improving as long as I can, and if it's good enough to challenge the first one, that would be a dream.
Very difficult to knock Zach and Joe off their perch, but he's been very successful in his short stints in the past. And not that he's been handed or gifted any of that success, but it does change for him now being at the start of the season and going right through until July.
It does. It's a logical step for him to make. I think it was always something that was going to happen. It's worked out that it's happened this season. But last season, he had a terrific record with 26 wins. He finished in 10th place in the Jockeys Championship, which is a great effort given that he was only here for 4 months of a 10.5-month season. I think he's a great addition to the riders' ranks. He's well supported. And I think last season he showed that he had a bit of a knack for finding what sort of horses he should be trying to chase up to ride, Andrew. So I think he'll make it extra competitive this season.
Yeah, he touched on a few of those horses as well. Super Wealthy runs in the weekend. He runs Perfect Match in the big race. Heart Conquered as well for Richard Gibson. So the good rides on his first day. The overall jockey landscape, though, you touched on, you know, could he make a dent in the Pert Moreira sort of lead? But Karis Teeton coming off a best ever season, Vincent Ho and Chad Schofield, they'd have something to say about that as well, wouldn't they?
Certainly, I think it will be a two-horse race as far as who wins this season's jockey's title is concerned. It will be the familiar two of Moreira and Purton. But I think that battle for third is going to be fascinating. As you say, Karis Teeton, a best ever season. He could push 100 winners, Karis, the way that he was going last season. Vincent Ho continues to go from strength to strength. Chad Schofield continues to improve with each season that he has here, and he also had a personal best season last season. You throw Alexis into the mix, you have Antoine Hammerlin staying for a full season, and then with the potential for new jockeys to come, particularly from Europe in the winter months, I think it's going to be really fascinating how it plays out for the riders this campaign.
Yeah, that has been thrown up as a possible situation for big-name riders coming in for short stints. We've obviously heard from David Hayes here in the programme as well. Any indication who he'll be using in the new season? Or it could be across the board? I've noticed Blake Jeune riding a lot in the trials for him.
Definitely, and also Keith Young's done a lot of riding for David Hayes over the course of this pre-season period leading into Sunday's season opener. So I think Blake Jeune and also Keith Young are two jockeys that will benefit from having David Hayes, as will Chad Schofield, who rode a lot for David when they were both based in Australia. And of course, Zach Purton and Joe Moreira ride for all the best stables really here in Hong Kong, so it would make sense that they'll also be riding for David Hayes too. Absolutely.
All right, well, let's look ahead to the diary, what we've got coming up this week and beyond as well. It's the HKSAR Chief Executives Cup. That's the regular big race on the first day of the season. That's on Sunday, 1 of 10. Race number 8 on the programme. Back to Happy Valley on a Wednesday night, then again Sunday, a week Sunday, back again to Sha Tin on the weekend. So what of the main race on Sunday then, Ed? It's a big field. Sometimes we just get a handful of runners, but a really decent lineup. Race number 8, it comes up, the HKSAR Chief Executives Cup.
Certainly, and it's one of those races, a field of 11 in it. It could go any way, and it wouldn't really surprise me, Andrew. I've landed with Fat Turtle as my pick. He performed well in the early part of last season and then went on to compete in some strong races. He was placed at group level behind Golden 60. I think he'll get the run of the race, and he's relatively well handicapped, but it's an intriguing race. John Sizer's horses in Champions Way and also Beauty Legacy coming back to this sort of distance will be fascinating. And to see Ratton as well too, he's been a great horse for the Richard Gibson stable for a number of seasons now. He trialled well last week and he does perform well fresh. I think there might be some life left in his old 7-year-old legs. So there are a few that I think are going to be the talking point horses heading into the race.
I think Computer Patch and Victorium are interesting right down to the bottom of the weights as well. But just back to John Size for a moment, Ed, and it's got the 3 runners. Champions Way, we assume, is the pick of Joe Moreira. But Beauty Legacy, back to a sprinting trip now, where sometimes last season he didn't settle. You'd think, if nothing else, he should do over the 1,200 metres.
He looked so good when he won first up, didn't he, Andrew, here in Hong Kong? He raced as Hawkshot and was incidentally trained by David Hayes when he was in Australia. I think last time out, last preparation, the plan was to get him towards the Derby and to get him to settle and to teach him to run out a 2,000 metre distance, but that didn't work. I'd love to see how he goes over the weekend, coming back to 1,200 metres. Hopefully he settles, and then let's see what he can do, because we know he's got the talent, but he's his own worst enemy. Yeah, good ride for Neil Callum the opening day as well. He booted home a couple of runners for winners for John Size last season. Should have mentioned Amazing Star as well, super trial from him coming into the race. John Size, in terms of his championship title challenge goes, I mentioned big numbers for him on the opening day. He normally only has a handful of winners through September. Maybe we're looking at something different, do you think, this season? Potentially, yes. Well, he said in the press through the week that given the restrictions, there wasn't a lot for him to do in the off-season, so he decided to get to work with his horses. I think last season, a lot of the new horses that he brought in probably didn't live up to expectations. He also had a lot of seconds and perhaps his older horses from previous seasons who had helped to win championships may have reached their level in the ratings, but he's got a lot of new horses coming through. He's got, I think, in excess of 20 PPGs already on the books who are yet to race here in Hong Kong. He's got star power in the likes of Waikuku, and we know with John Size, with him, he's an 11-time champion trainer here in Hong Kong. That doesn't happen by fluke, so he'll definitely make his presence felt throughout the course of the season. It might even be a little bit earlier, as you say, than usual.
Great stuff. All right, Ed, well, thanks for today, and enjoy the racing. And Skyfield maybe next Sunday, so I'm sure you'll be catching up with Casper Founds next week at some point.
Yes, that might be the sneak preview to next week's Racing to Win.
Great stuff. All right, thanks to Ed. We're going to leave you this week with the feature race, the Chief Executive Cup from 2011. What a race it was as well. Joy and Fun had already won in Dubai, beating Little Bridge, who went on to win at Royal Ascot the following year. But this was Derek Cruz and Brett Doyle's day with Joy and Fun back in 2011. Enjoy this, and we'll see you again on Sunday and bring you all the action from Hong Kong direct to you.
Multi-Glory the fence. Stablemate Good Words one off and Dynamic Blitz surges forward. Perkin was quick to take hold on Little Bridge. Dropping in looking for cover in front of Amigo as Dynamic Blitz takes up the running. Back to third last, Rich Unicorn from Supreme Win and Joy and Fun just being urged along there at the rear of the field. Down the side of the course and Dynamic Blitz at 100-1 heads off the Cruise pair. 2 lengths away in second, Multi-Glory. Good Words punching the breeze third. Amigo on the bridle fourth on the inside of Little Bridge. Then Joy and Fun improving his position from Rich Unicorn, is over racing, and a length last is Supreme Win as they round the corner in the Chief Executives Cup, and Dynamic Blitz is burning along in the lead. 4 lengths clear from Multi-Glory under pressure. Amigo working into the clear, and now Little Bridge is being called upon. He went straight past Good Words. Joy and Fun runs a good race. Dynamic Blitz is hitting the big brick wall, and Little Bridge and Joy and Fun go to him. Amigo next, Rich Unicorn the outside, but Joy and Fun heads off Little Bridge, and Joy and Fun's pulling away. Put the writing on the wall with a superb barrier trail, and the never-aging Joy and Fun draws clear in the Chief Executives Cup to beat Little Bridge and Amigo third.